Hi everybody. The topic I am wanting to talk about today is an adult topic. So if you have any kids in the room, please send them away. This is a topic. The reason I want to make this video, I had been wanting to make this video for the last few days now, and I had to get myself together to make this video. The reason I want to make this video is because of all the stuff that's going on in the news right now with sex trafficking, child abductions, adult abductions. I mean, young ladies, young men, boys, girls, kids, whatever. And just the Me Too movement. I don't really know if they talk about the Me Too movement anymore, but I don't know, I just, parts of all of this stuff that's been happening has been triggering me, and I just wanted to come on here and make a video about something that happened to me in my past. So again, I'm getting ready to get into this video, so if there's any kids in the room, please shoo them away, make them go play or whatever. When I was about 7 or 8 years old, I was between the ages of 7 and 8. I know I was in the 3rd grade. Before that, whatever, my grandmother, my dad's mom, she had remarried. I was pretty shocked to find out that she had remarried, because even at that age, I remembered that her and my grandfather were divorced before I was even born, and just how life had gone and how we would always go down there on the weekends to her house. I remember her specifically telling my mom and dad that she would never, ever, ever get married again. And she did. And that's what shocked me. I don't know if she was talked into it and this guy was just that good or what. But anyways, after she married him, she moved out of her house. She kept her house. She just rented it out. Really, really small house. And, she moved into this man's house, and I would never, ever, ever have called him Grandpa. Never. He was not my grandfather. Anyways, she married this man, and little did she know what was going to happen to her granddaughter. Because, and I think it happened, I'm not going to say no names and who it was, anybody in my family, to, protect her privacy. I know it had happened to somebody else. This person had said it happened to them, but I'm not saying who it was. So, anyways, the house that he lived in was a big house. It was a ranch house, and to this day, I still remember how that whole house was laid out. He lived on some property, and he had cornfields. Well, it was more than just cornfields. He was like a farmer. He had a lot of land. He had a lot of money, which I think he had a lot of money. I don't know. So, because I was just little. I was like in the 3rd grade. It's like 7, 8 years old. So anyways, my grandmother, she wanted us to still come down and see her over the weekends, or like when we were in school, and then when we were out of school in the summer, we would go down there for, a week at a time. So we were there. I remember it was a weekend day, because I remember our whole family was there. And I remember my mom and dad being in the house. I remember they were in the kitchen area. And he had told me, my older sister, and my brother, and my younger sister, he said, let's go for a ride on the tractor. So we went for a ride on the tractor. He had the small tractor, and he had a big tractor too. He had the small tractor, and he had a trailer hooked up to the back of it. And he had somebody sit on his lap while the other three were in the back trailer, and we all switched turns, sitting on his lap, and the other three were back in the trailer. And he didn't try anything then, but then came the time where I guess he had full trust in me, that he was like, let's go for a ride on the tractor. So I was like, cool. You don't think somebody that you're supposed to trust is going to do something to you, with you. And lo and behold, he took me for a ride on the tractor. Sorry, you guys, I'm trying to get comfy. He took me for a ride on the tractor, and he had some land, like I said, and we went to the back of the property where the cornfields were, and there was this area that was tucked into the back, kind of, that nobody knew about. Now, mind you, my whole family is there, and he took me to the back. He stopped on the tractor, and he started touching me in areas that he should not have. And I was like, I knew that it wasn't supposed to happen. I knew it was wrong, but I don't know why I allowed it. I think it's because he took me so far away, and I was always so scared to tell my mom. I was scared to tell anybody. And my older sister, I told her what had happened. And she says, you have to tell Mom. I said, I can't. And I can't even remember how old I was. I told her a few years after it happened. And he wanted me to touch his private parts. He touched my private part. He put his mouth down there, and I didn't realize what I was so stunned. I was like, I just stood there frozen, not knowing what to do. And he said, oh, it's okay. I'm just showing you how, I can't remember because it's been so long, something about how things should be. I mean, I can't remember exactly what was said. Like I said, this happened when I was 7, 8 years old, and I'm 50. I mean, this was 40 some years ago. So this happened time and time and time again. And every time it happened, I was so scared. And every single time he took me out, I would always try to make excuses. And I'd always tell my grandma, I want to hang out with you. And she always had some place to go or something to do. And he said, let him watch over you. She didn't know what was going on. She did not know what was going on. And so I was scared. I was so scared. And I remember him specifically telling me, don't tell your mom and don't tell your dad, because they will get really mad. They will get really mad. And then I thought to myself, well, why would they get mad about something that you're trying to show me? And I knew, like I said, I knew it was wrong. And I was shy to begin with when I was young. I was petrified. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't turn to anybody. I wouldn't turn to anybody. And I think that's what made me worse off growing up. I mean, I don't know. I had times when I was young, that, and for a child think about something like this. I always thought to myself, this world would be better without me. And I just wanted to die every time this happened to me. And one time, I remember my grandma going to the drugstore. She left me all by myself, and my grandma went to the drugstore with, I think it was my older sister and my brother, and and I was going to go with them, and I don't know what happened, but my grandma said, I'll be back, we'll be back, and I'm like, well, I'm coming with you, and she goes, no, you can stay back here with Grandpa, but I didn't call him Grandpa. And she goes, we're just going up to the store and we'll be right back. So I remember being in the living room, and they had one of those hi-fi, old hi-fi stereos, whatever, that had the record player in there and the radio, and I think it had a TV in there. I can't remember. And he turned it on. He turned the music up, and he told me to go into the bathroom. And I went into the bathroom. He said, go in there and pull your shorts down, because it was in the summer. He goes, go in there and pull your shorts down. I want to show you something. And so I went into the bathroom, and I locked the door. And he said, let me in. You got to let me in. I have to show you something that's in there. And he goes, well, pull your shorts back up. Come on out. So I pulled my shorts back up. I remember pulling my shorts back up, unlocking the door and opening it. And I was so afraid what was going to happen if I opened it, but I opened it anyways, because he was really good. He was really, he could talk to you and make you believe a lot of stuff. And so he said, your grandma's home, because the drugstore was just right around the corner. And I stayed in there for a good few minutes. And now this was on a Saturday. On Sunday, I remember she had to go back out. And I told Grandma, I said, Grandma, I want to come with you. And she goes, okay. And I think we were going to Kmart, because she wanted to go get some yarn, because she crocheted, and I knew she was going to be there a while, and I did not want to stay back at this house with him. I didn't want to do it. And my older sister, I remember her saying, Grandma, I want to come with you. And my brother's like, well, I'm going, because, my brother was younger. He was like, I was like third grade. He would have only been in the first grade. And so she took him with her. And then my older sister wanted to go. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to be left alone with this man again. And they're going to be gone longer. And I was freaking out. I didn't know what to do. And so I was like, I'll just go outside and play with the dogs, because they had dogs. And I remember him telling me to come in the house. I went in the house, and what was weird, and I never understood this, but to this day, I get it now. He had a bottle of wintergreen rubbing alcohol, and to this day, I cannot stand the smell or the taste of wintergreen. I don't like it. That smell, I will never forget that smell. That's all that man ever smelled of. So, I just don't like it. If somebody's chewing wintergreen gum, I get nauseated and it triggers me. I don't like it. But anyways, he had me come into the kitchen. He was sitting at the table, and he took his shirt off. And I remember him saying, put some of this on my back and rub it. And I didn't know any better. I thought, oh, he wants me to just rub his back, And as I was sitting there doing it, he pulled his pants down. he pulled his pants down and showed me his private parts. And he said, put that hand on my private part. And I was like, I said, why? And he said, because I liked the sensation or something of it. And I was like, I was freaking out. I was totally freaking out. I'm like, I didn't want to do this. So I can't, some of the stuff is like a little fuzzy to me of what happened after that. And I remember playing with the dogs. I remember going in the kitchen, doing that. From between then and him telling me to go into the bathroom, I don't remember much. I don't remember actually any of it. And he said, go into the bathroom. So I went into the bathroom, and he came in with me this time. And he closed the door, and I started freaking out. And I was like, I started crying. And he goes, what's wrong? And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. Because this was going on long enough. This was going on for at least a year. At least a year. And I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. And I'm bawling my eyes out. And I told him, I said, I don't know what you're doing, or something like that. I said, I don't know what you're doing, but this isn't right. I want to go home. I told him, I said, I remember specifically telling him, I want to go home. I want my mom. And he said, you can't tell her about any of this. You can't tell your mom or your dad about any of this, because they won't believe you anyways. I remember him specifically saying, they won't believe you, and they will be really mad that you did this for so long that you can't tell them. You can't tell them. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I did this for so long. I allowed it for so long. My mom is going to hate me. She's going to be so mad at me for telling her this. And that my mom, I was afraid my mom was going to say something like, why didn't you tell me before? This is your fault. That's what always went in the back of my mind. And then it was probably about 6 months after this happened. For some reason, it was really weird, because I remember for the longest time not going down there. And I told my mom, I have to say who it is. I know my older sister told her something, because we didn't go down there for a long time. It was like 2 months. And I don't know if, I know my grandma didn't know. I know she didn't know. Well, sorry. He passed away. Supposedly, he had a heart attack. He was working in the fields, and he had a heart attack. And so I remember my mom specifically saying, Grandpa, I'm not going to mention his name, had a heart attack. He died. He's up in heaven. And I remember specifically asking my mom, Mom, where do the bad people go? I remember asking her that. I'm like, where do the bad people go? Do they go to heaven? And I remember her saying, everybody goes to heaven. They have to face God first. And so then I thought to myself, oh. And I told my mom, I remember specifically telling my mom, so I'll go to heaven too, Mom? And she said, yes, everybody goes to heaven. And I'm 7, 8 years old. She's not going to tell me there's a H-E-double-L. And I remember specifically telling her something about, Because I remember her asking me, she goes, are you going to miss him? And I don't even remember what I answered. I remember specifically saying something about, well, he's gone or something. I don't know. And so in this time, that night, I thought to myself, I'm going to tell my mom. I'm going to tell her. So I was in the bathroom, and my mom and me we were both in our bathroom, and my mom was in there. She, because we were little, she brushed our teeth because she wanted to make sure, we had really good hygiene, and she was brushing my hair. And I told my mom, I said, Mom, I have to tell you something that Grandpa told me. See, I used to call him Grandpa once in a while, and I don't know, it was really weird. And she says, what? And she didn't really pressure me much. And she goes, well, what did he say to you? And I just stood there and I froze. I thought back to what he would tell me, what he said to me, and I thought to myself, I can't do this. I can't tell my own mother what happened. And she goes, was it serious what he told you? She goes, is this something you need to tell me? And I said, yeah. And I remember saying, yeah. And she goes, well, what did he tell you? And you know what I told her? You know what I came up with? I told her that he said that I was fat. I could not tell her. I couldn't tell her. So, years went by. Well, a couple of years went by, and I told my sister what happened, and she said, what? What? He did that to you? And I said, yeah. And she goes, oh my God. She was really upset, and she goes, and I said, why? She said, because I knew he was doing it to you. He did it to me too. And I told him that if he left you alone, I would let him do it to me, or I was going to tell Mom. He did it to both of us. Sorry, sister, if you ever watch this video, but I had to come clean. Anyways, I told her, and I know she told my mom. She told my mom when it happened, but I don't think she ever told my mom that it happened for so long. I'm 50 years old. It was about 3 years ago I finally told my mom. It was 3 years ago. I was always afraid to tell her. But I'm telling you one thing. I would never, ever allow anybody to do that to my nieces, my nephews, or anybody I'm close to. People, keep your children guarded. Keep your adults guarded. You have no idea. You have no idea who is taking care of your children or watching them or whatever, or who is around them. It could be your own father. I've known instances where it was real family that has done this. And I'm not talking about just molestation. I'm talking about rape. I'm talking about, I don't even want to say the words, to their own either grandchildren or their nieces or their nephews or brothers or sisters. You have to be aware of who you have around your children, because you don't know. You don't know. You think you trust this person for everything, and you can't. You cannot trust them. And I'm gonna tell you one thing. I never got. It screwed me up. It screwed me up. I got PTSD from this. It really screwed me up mentally. And I still think to this day I'm screwed up mentally because of that. I really do. And I wish I could quit crying. But, yeah, it sucks. It sucks that it had to happen to me. And it sucks that it happened to happen to my sister. Especially after she asked that man that to leave me alone, she would allow it. Sickening. There are some really sick people in this world. Really sick people. I never got anything out of it, like just to tell somebody on him, like the authorities or whatever. He died. What was really weird is he died. It was not even 6 months after we stopped going down there. I don't know. I don't know. But, yeah. Oh, God. Finally letting this out after all these years. I'm hoping that by talking about this, that I can get some kind of closure from what's been going in the back of my mind this past month. It's been crazy. Every single time I hear on the news or see on the news, and I hate watching the news. Every time I see something that's on the news that somebody is missing, it triggers me. It's always triggered me. That's why I don't like watching the news. I hate watching the news. It's nothing but bad news most of the time. But anyways, now that I got this out, hopefully I can think straight and get some stuff done. I've just been really depressed this past couple weeks, and I know the reason why, and I know that's the reason why. So, I don't know, you guys, just make sure you know who your children are with, because the mental, it is so mental. A lot of people don't realize how mental it is. It's even physical. I mean, there's been times I wanted to commit suicide. Because deep down, mentally, I have triggers all the time about that and other things. And there's been times that I do not want to be on this earth, but then, you know what brings me back every time? My nephew's laugh. My one nephew, the way he laughs. Every single time I get, in this mood, I think of his laugh. And it is so funny. It is the cutest giggle, I swear. It is the cutest giggle. As you can see, I got a smile on my face just thinking about it. So anyways, you guys, I'm going to get off here and dry my eyes and blow my nose. And I'm sorry that I was crying and all this, but it's been wearing on me. So I need to clean myself up here and focus on the future. Not really the future, my present. I need to meditate and get my mind in order, because I don't want to stay in this place. I got to get out of this place. I want to heed forward and make life better. Make life better. Choose to have a better life. No matter what happens to you, no matter who does it, don't let them control you. Don't let people control you. You are you. You don't want to be controlled. Get it out of your mind. You guys, with that, have a great day. Bless you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.